Now we're here today with Don Gwen Good, is that right?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? How old are you?
I'm 51.
All right, and where do you live?
I live in East Texas.
Are you married?
Yes.
Now you had a case against the city of Irving and a detective named Fred Curtis, is that right?
That's right.
And you had sued them, right?
Yes.
You had sued them because of an arrest that happened in 1983.
That's right.
Would you tell us a little bit about that?
I was arrested and for DWI and
Now who arrested you?
the Urban Police Department.
What detective?
I don't know his name. They originally come to my mother's apartment where I was living, and I believe I was looking for someone else, but they saw me sitting on the couch and run my ID, and I had a bond forfeiture for a DWI warrant out, and that's the reason I was taken to the jail.
What happened when you were in jail?
While I was in jail, and I was in the jail cell, they booked me in, and I was in the jail cell, and Detective Curtis had me brought to his office for questioning about some burglaries, and when I refused to, go along with him or acknowledge any of them, he pulls out a composite drawing sketch, and that's the first time I heard about this case in Irving, the red case.
The one you were charged
with.
Now let's talk about the interrogation a little bit. Now, Detective Curtis, when he was interrogating you, where did that happen at?
In his office.
Was anybody else there?
No.
It was just you and him? How big is his office?
It's small. It was real small.
Okay. And then when he was interrogating you, what did he want you to do?
Tell him about some break-ins, daytime burglaries. And, I told him I didn't know anything what he was talking about.
What was his reaction when you told him that?
He was real angry, got mad, red-faced, and pulled out a composite sketch. And that's when he told me about this case.
Told you about a rape that happened in Irving?
Yes, on June 9th, 1983. I told him I didn't know nothing about it. And I said, besides, that don't even look like me, He said, well, if you don't think it looks like you, I'll fix it so it does.
And what did he do right after that?
At that point, I was getting mad myself because he kept talking about this case, and I asked him to go ahead and just take me back to my jail cell. And he said, okay, all right. He said, before we go, I want to take a couple of snapshots of you. And that's when he took some Polaroid pictures of me. And we were standing there, and he took one picture and let it develop. And it wasn't, I guess, to his satisfaction, so he took another one. I believe he took 2 or 3. The last one he took, I could see him turning the wheel camera down, to the dark setting. And so the last picture, it was just like black. You couldn't even make it out. And that's the one he used. And then he took me back to my jail cell.
Now, when he took the pictures, where did he get the camera from first?
On top of his filing cabinet, in his filing cabinet.
In his filing, so he just opened it up?
Opened it up, pulled the camera out.
And started snapping pictures of? Where did he take you? Did he do it in his office or where?
It was right outside his office.
Right outside? He didn't take you to a special room or anything?
No.
Okay.
And this was after I was already booked in jail, which they had they could have used the picture that they, the picture that where I was booked in, rather than, but he had chose to use the Polaroid pictures.
Why do you think he did that?
To well, the lady described her attacker as someone being extremely dark tan and muscular built, and I don't tan. I'm red haired, freckles. I sunburn, but I don't tan. I'm not dark complected at all, and I suppose to fit the description of the attacker in this case.
Now, after he took your picture, You said he used that picture. How did he use that picture? Did he put it in a photo lineup?
Photo lineup, showed it to the lady,
The victim.
the victim.
Okay. And you found out, of course, through the trials that you had, and we'll talk about the trials in a second, but you found out that that was the reason that the victim picked you as the attacker, because of that picture.
Yes.
Okay. And do you tell us how was that picture presented to the victim?
I don't have no idea. I was in jail. So,
You were in jail, but you found out later through your case
I found out
how
later.
it was placed in a photo lineup.
Right.
Yeah, do you remember how it was done, how it was placed?
Yeah, that part I do. As far as what order it was in and everything, I do, because on each of my lineups and everything, I was always at number 2 for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, whether it would be a live lineup, a photo ID lineup, or whatever, it was always number 2.
Okay.
I don't know.
And
But I noticed that, through, looking back.
and it was also the photo lineup was done before the live lineup, right?
Right.
Now, what happened at the live lineup?
The live lineup, they give us certain phrases to say, to repeat. And I remember they kind of pulled one back and put me, I don't know why, but they had me like in a certain order. I guess number 2 again,
Yeah.
And we repeated the phrases over, all of us did. And I believe that was the first time that the daughter had picked me out, was in the live lineup, not the first lineup, photo lineup.
So in the live lineup, the victim's daughter wasn't able to pick you?
In the live lineup, yes, but the first photo lineup, no.
First photo lineup, no. Now, eventually, you were convicted, is that correct?
Yes,
And it took 3 trials.
3 trials.
Tell us a little bit, why did it take 3 trials? Tell us about the first trial, the second trial, and the third one.
The first trial ended in a hung jury, and I believe it was 11-1. I think it was a female. I don't know, but I think it was that held out. And so they declared a mistrial. And I believe that's when they, went through these polygraphs and all that, whether if you're innocent or whatever, you'll pass this polygraph. But they said I failed the polygraph, and so they retried me. I remember it was right after the New Year. It was like February, one day before, one day after my birthday, which was February the 5th. But I think it was the 6th. I think they tried me then, or convicted me or something. But they retried me and found me guilty and sentenced me to life for the first time in the penitentiary. And I appealed it. And on appeal, while I was in prison, I had some help doing my appeals and stuff. And on appeal, they reversed my case due to prosecutor misconduct.
Yeah, the prosecutor had done something wrong during the trial?
Yeah, he encouraged the jury to find me guilty because I looked and acted guilty.